Hello all, in this video we will see how to add students or participant to a classroom as well as how to add materials to a classroom. So we are in the classroom homepage. So you can see there are two classes of which I am a teacher. So I will choose the science 4B class where I am going to add students as well as I am going to paste the material. So I click on this class. So you can see there are four different tabs here: stream, classwork, people and grade. So we will be adding participants or students under people, and we will be adding materials under the classwork. So first thing what always you have to remember is before you invite student to your classroom, there should be some material, or at least there should be some message which you are going to put for the students. So one option is I can put the materials here, or I go to stream and I post a message for my students. So initially what I do is I go to classwork and I'll try to create some material. So in classwork you have create. I click on create. I have an option called as material. So I click on material. So here it asks for a general thing, that is I have to give the title, I have to give a description to the material, and you can also see to whom you are going to post this. So what I do is here I click on title and I type it as syllabus. So syllabus for my class was 4B, I think. Yes, it is 4B. You can see it here, science 4B. So I'll type it as syllabus for science 4B. If you have any description about this, you can just type the description about what this file contains. Otherwise it's optional, you can leave it blank. So we can see there are multiple options here. Either you can add a file or you can create a file. So we try to add a file. So I click on add. You have four different options. Either you can take something which is there already in your Google Drive, or you can give a link to a particular website or a file or a YouTube. So I come back to my folder. Here I created a folder. So here I have a syllabus copy which I have prepared and kept. It's a Word document. I have a textbook PDF, and also I have typed my welcome message and kept it here. Okay, and I come to my drive. So I come to my drive. I'll just show in drive also. I just kept one particular file. So I come to classroom, I come to science 4B. So I have textbook PDF here, just a sample textbook PDF. Okay, so first option what I do is I come back here. So I typed a syllabus. So my syllabus is there in the folder in my computer. So I click on file. So it asks for an option, recent file or upload, my drive or start. So right now I have to upload it because the file is there in my computer. So I click on browse. I come to desktop. So this is my folder here. So here I can put my syllabus. So I click on syllabus, I click on open. So you can see the file got uploaded here. So this file has come here. I can select to which and all class I am going to send this. So it is for 4B, science 4B itself, and I need all my students to access this. Otherwise you can actually change whom and all have the access. Now there is something called as a topic. So remember that creating a topic is always better. Why? Because it will organize your things better. So what I do is I just click on this and I create a topic called as materials itself, just to understand, right? Okay, then you can see there are multiple options. There is a post here. So next to post there's a down arrow. When you click on post, straight away it gets posted. There is something called as schedule. If you want to schedule this post for any particular time, you can schedule it. So scheduling is something like, just now I created all these things and the time is 5:12 p.m. So if you want to schedule, I can schedule it for today night or something, or tomorrow morning, or any time whichever you want. You just have to specify the date and time and click on schedule. So automatically when the time comes, this material will get posted. Then if you want to save it as a draft so that you have to edit it later, you can do that. If you want to discard this draft also, it is fine. So what I do is right now I'll click on post. I will just post this. So it is getting posted. So this material, whatever you are seeing here, is nothing but the topics. So in the later stages we will see what are the different ways in which we can add many topics, or we can put post other things here. Okay, so I have created a syllabus for science B. Now I'm going to create one more material. So I click on material. So here I will give it as title as textbook PDF. Along with that I will give as video and a website. So these are the three things I'm going to post. So in material I'm going to post a PDF, video and a website. So in the previous post I just shared only one, but in this post I'll show you how I can post multiple things. So I click on add. So now my textbook PDF is there in the Google Drive. So I click on Google Drive. So you can go to either my drive or you go to recent, so you'll get it here. So if in the recently, if you have opened that particular file, it will be there. So I click on textbook PDF, so it is here. I click on insert. So my textbook PDF is inserted. Now I have to add a video. So I click on add. You can see there is a provision called for YouTube. So I needed to add a YouTube video, so I click on YouTube. So automatically pop-up window comes here. You have two options here. If you know the URL of the YouTube video, you can paste it here. There is address of the YouTube video, or else straight away you can do a YouTube search. So I am going to search for Introduction to Science. I just wait. Okay, so I got a video. I just add this itself. It's a 11-minute video. Let it be, no problem. I click on add. So you see the video got added. Next I have to add a website. So you can see I click on add. There is an option called as link. So when I click on link, it asks for a website address. So what I will do is I have already opened one particular website. Just it's an Excel website. I just copy this address. So this page has some information about the science of for my particular student. So I just select this address. I copy this. I come here. I just paste this link. Paste and click on add link. So you see, in a single post it is possible for you to add multiple things. So not only this, these were the files which are already existing. If you want to create a new file, you can always go and create. So there are options for Google Docs, slides, sheets, drawings. If you want to give a drawing instantly, the drawing also can be done. You have Google Forms. If you want to add something, can be added. So here this give you access to create the documents, and in add you get option to add documents. So here the things are same. And now I already have a topic called as material. So what I do is I click on this down arrow, I select the topic material and I post it. So now we'll see what happens. We'll just wait for a while. So you see the topic is a single topic is material. Under topics I have these three things. So first post, if I open, I have a syllabus copy here as a Word document. I open this. You can see in a single this thing you have a PDF, you have a YouTube video, and you have a link to a website. So this is how we can post materials. So but always remember, when you post materials, it is better to create a topic and post it under that. So now I am ready to invite my students. So before that, what I will do is I go to stream, and here again I check. So what is there? So you can see there is the whatever you post automatically will come to the stream. And here I have to put a message to my students. That is, whenever students join, they should be seeing some message or something. Anyhow, they will be seeing the material what we have posted, but along with that, I want my students to read a welcome message. So I already have typed a welcome message and kept. So I just copy it from here. I come here. So this shows you how to post in a stream. So I click on share something with your class. I click here. I paste the content which I have typed. Here I can decide to which particular class. So it is possible for you to post material from one particular class to other class. So you can see, if I want, I can take this also. So same message will go to Science 4B as well as Maths 2 also, right? So that is also possible. And I can decide to which enrolled students I want to send a message. That we will see it later when we add students. Right now we are not add students, so we will not get that option. So right now it go for all students. Here also, along with the post, it is possible for you to add materials or contents. But here better, you can also do that, but better not to do that. Why? Because in classwork we are organizing and we are putting all the materials, so it will be easy for the students to come back and check later, right? So this also you have a provision to either post it right away or schedule it or save as draft. So I post it. Why? Because right now I'm posting. Why? Because I want my students to come and watch this when they enter the classroom. So the materials have been posted. I have put a welcome message also to them. So the classwork is done. Now I come to people. So in people we can add teachers as well as students. So in the previous video we have seen that in a normal Google account we can have maximum of 250 members, where maximum number of teachers can be 20 and remaining either 230 students you can have, or we can have 249 students and one teacher. So I am the single teacher of my class. So if I want to add students, there were multiple ways to do that. So one way, in the last video we have seen that we can actually use a class code. So this class code can be shared with students. So I am going to share this class code with one of the students. So okay, so I will show the different ways in which it can be done. So once, as I told, I have shared it with the student, and the other way is I can go to people and I can invite here. So here what happens is, see, this is what happens when you share a class code. So since I have shared a class code, what happens is a student will be able to join this particular class, but whatever name he had given, that name will be coming in the profile. So I am not sure whether this is my student or not, because he has, for his profile he had given the name as Tom and Jerry, right? I might get his email ID, so I will show you how to get the email ID for this particular student. But still this will be one issue which teachers might face when we share the class code, because whatever profile names they are giving, that name will be coming here. Just imagine that I have an email ID of the student. So what I will do is, if I have the email ID of the student, I just type the email ID of the student and I click on invite. So you can see the difference what happens in both the cases. So here when a student when a teacher invites a student, it will show like this. For example, this is the email ID of the particular student, and that student is being invited. So he gets a personal email invite there. So unless and until he joins, it will be showing as invited. So when the student joins a particular classroom, the invited option will go from there, and the particular student will be active. So that is how it comes. The same way we'll be able to add teachers also. So I just click on invite teachers. If you want to invite teachers, you can always go and invite a teacher here. So either name or email. So if you have their names or email ID added to your account, automatically it will get added. And whenever you add a student or a teacher, you can give multiple email ID. So only thing is that it should be comma separated. Each email ID should be comma separated. So you can see now one of my student has joined. So this is the difference. So here also one more possibility is there. The student might have given some other name, but I am pretty much sure that this is my own student, because I had my student's email ID. So this is one chance. Okay, so in case if you get somebody who is extra or is being added to a class, it is always possible for you to remove. So I can select the student, I just put a tick mark here, select, I go to actions. I can always remove a student, right? And if I want to email a student, that is also possible. So I select a student, I go to actions, I go to email. So what happens is automatically the Gmail gets opened, and a compose will also be there with the email ID of the student with a subject and the content. So I just have to type a subject, type the content, and click on send. Automatically that student get the email, right? If I want to send email to multiple students also, that can be done. I can select both of the student, I go to actions, I click on email. So here also same thing happens, but you can see the difference. In the previous case, when you send an email to a single student, it comes directly in the to address. But in this case, when you select multiple students and put in BCC, what happens is each student will get his own personalized copy, because he will not come to know to whom and all teacher has sent a message. So if you want to send to students that please submit the assignment on time or something like that, and if I am selecting all the students and sending an email, so what happens is everybody will think that teacher has sent a personalized email to them. So that is one more advantage which we have it here. So I just discard this mail. You have another option which is called as a mute. So when you select on actions, you can see something called as a mute. So when you click on mute, what happens is it shows a message. So you can see that the student is muted. The student can still submit work, and other students won't see it. And one more thing, he can't reply to classmates work, and he can't comment or post. So if some students are getting naughty in the class, actually you can mute them for a while, so they will understand that they are not able to give an active participation in the class, and after 1 or 2 days, or after giving a proper warning, actually you can unmute him. So I'll just mute this particular students. How you will see which and all students are muted. So you can see this Tom and Jerry has been muted, so he will be able to submit his classwork, for example assignments or quizzes, all those things he'll be able to do, but he will not be able to post something or comment something as other students can do. So if you want to unmute him, just put a tick mark on this, go to actions and click on unmute, right? So again it will show you a similar message. So here you can submit all the works and other students can see, he can replace to classmate work and he can comment and post. So that is an option called as mute and unmute. And one more option which we have is, in case if you feel that you have a student who is not of your class, you can just select this particular student, go to actions and you can remove him. So when you remove this particular student, it asks for a confirmation. I click on remove. So remember one thing, when you remove an email ID or a student from your classroom, that student will not be able to join by using the class code. So even if you have enabled your class code and you are asking that student to join by using class code, and he or she will not be able to join if you have removed him previously. Otherwise he or she will be able to do, he or she will be able to join your class. Or else in that particular case, you feel that okay, so he was my student, I wanted him back. Next only option is you have to click on invite student and you have to type his email ID and click on invite. So this is how we can add students. And it is one more thing the teachers can do is, you can just request your students to give proper name for their profile so that it will be easy to track. If you want to watch tutorials on a particular tool, kindly comment below. Also, if you want to watch all the videos on multiple tools available, kindly subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Thank you.